Watch your child soar to new heights at Cabarrus Charter Academy. Cabarrus Charter Academy is a tuition-free public charter school now accepting applications for kindergarten through 12th grade. Our curriculum encompasses a student-focused learning environment, offering whole child development while fostering strategic partnerships between families, teachers, and the community. Join us for an information session or submit an application by visiting cabarruscharter.org today.
Good morning, Husky families. It is Thursday, September 10th. We are excited to be with you this morning. I want to give you several updates as we are moving through this week, getting ready for next week. First, technology update. We are very happy and proud to say that I think we have about 95 to 98% of all of our students and all systems working at this point. We've spent the last several weeks just troubleshooting and helping families get acclimated to all of our new systems. Students are starting to catch on with the one student login sign-on. They're understanding that everyone has to go through Clever, which gets them to Schoology and all of their tools. That would be Schoology, Microsoft Office 365, where they can then also get to their email through Outlook. You can get to PowerSchool there. You can get Edmentum, which I want to talk about that in just a second. So if anyone is still continuing to have issues, please email me and we will work with you to get that. We're very happy to say that we've been able to provide a large number of devices for our families who are in need. We do still have several left. So if we do have some families that are having to share a device or that are struggling with a device that isn't quite working, we do have some others available that we can help those families out that are in need. We also have come across a few extra hotspots in case we have a family that does not have internet access. We can actually work with them as well. So we're very fortunate to be able to offer that. Now, that is in very limited supply, and we do have to be very careful of how we do that, but we are willing to work with all of our families. Our teachers have been communicating daily with our students, and we want to keep that communication up as well. I do know our registrar as well as our front office manager has been emailing and communicating with families. So please continue to contact us if you have any needs or just want to talk. So Edmentum. Our families have been very patient with our Edmentum and starting our Spanish and psychology curriculum. As of Tuesday this week, Edmentum was up and live, and students should have logged in. And again, you can get to Edmentum clicking the E under Schoology and on Clever. And Edmentum is up and going, and students should have already logged in and started that curriculum. The assignment this week is to go through the syllabus. Mrs. Boatwright and Mr. Burgess are the two teachers of note for those classes. I do know that they have been reaching out as well. If your student has not logged in to Edmentum, this is only for Spanish 1, Spanish 2, and psychology students. If you have not logged into Edmentum at this point, you are already behind. You need to go ahead and do that. If you have any issues with getting into that system, please email myself or Miss Boatwright or Mr. Burgess so we can ensure that you are getting that off the ground. We did send instructions last week on how to access Edmentum through the login screens. So again, if you did not receive that or if you still need some service, do not hesitate to ask. Moving on, I'm excited. We added 2 more new teachers this week that we have been impatiently waiting for. Cassie Malcolm is now our middle school 6th and 7th math teacher. I know she has already hit the ground running. She's been communicating and working with students this week. So we are very excited to have her join us. Also, Miss Tarika Sands. She is our new high school English 2 and speech debate teacher. And she does 2 English 3 as well. So Tarika Sands, she is here. Now, we are still short one, all full transparency, we are still short 1 math high school teacher. We are currently looking, unfortunately, during this time, all schools are struggling trying to find candidates and trying to fill needed spots. Our high school math teacher for Math 2 and Math 2 and Discrete. We are still on the hunt. We do have a substitute teacher in place, but our math department has been posting assignments for them just to keep them working, keep those juices flowing. And please know that we are doing everything in our power to locate and find a competent teacher. We don't want to just fill that spot with anyone. We want to find a decent candidate, a good candidate for them to provide math instruction for our students. So again, please be patient with us. Thank you for being patient thus far. I know it's not ideal and I know it's frustrating, but know that it has not been for a lack of effort, and we continue that march. So if you know of anyone, you have any good person in mind, please have them reach out to us. We are preferably looking for a math certified high school teacher. Just a reminder, I sent out a parent survey. Our board, as we continue to march through the first quarter and prepare for the next phase of our schooling process, we are truly interested and value our opinions and our feelings of our staff, as well as our community, our students, and our families. So just a reminder, I sent a parent survey out at the beginning of this week. We need those responses and that survey completed by you, the family, by Monday, preferably Monday close of day, so we can make informed decisions of how we need to move forward. I want to remind you that back on, I think it was July 31st, our board had decided to go fully mobile, utilizing our mobile classroom, fully mobile option for delivering instruction for the first quarter. We are currently in that plan right now. I think, yes, it's been bumpy, but you know what? We have stuck together. We have continued to march forward. And as like I say, building the bridges, we walk on it together. And, you know, it's been very fruitful. We've been very successful to this point. And we're excited about how, as our systems continue to work with fidelity, as we continue to evolve with this process, as students and families and teachers are getting used to this mode, we're very happy with our progress thus far. However, goes without saying, we want our students back as soon as possible, as soon as we can provide a safe environment and we have the go-ahead. Again, our board is supposed to meet at the end of September to discuss how we're going to move forward. I'm hoping that we do get to move to a Plan B option in the near future. And with that, that will take me to our new schedule that we are going to talk about in just a few minutes. But I want to continue with just some need to know. We've had questions about yearbooks from last year. I have been in contact with the company. They are obviously behind, months behind, and they have not given me a hard set date of when those yearbooks will be here. I will keep you updated as soon as they are in this building. I will communicate for you guys to be able to get them. We also have a senior update, senior makeup pictures. We do senior pictures every year at the beginning of the year, just because of the COVID restrictions and vacation and just the time did not work for everyone. We have set a makeup senior picture date. Again, pictures for seniors only is going to be October 12th. I will be emailing out communication as we get closer about the exact time frame during that day, but please mark your calendars, October 12th, seniors, for any student that did not get their picture taken. So we will get those to you as well. Let's talk just a little bit. The fall is presented another opportunity for us to get back into normal schooling. So if you recall, in the spring, we had grade options at the end of the year, whether the students could take especially the high school level, could take either a passing grade or receive a numerical grade that will count toward their GPA. At the middle school level, it was just basically pass. We did not take grades per se. That has changed. This fall, we are recording grades. We are assessing students' content. We are assessing their learning, and we are entering grades into PowerSchool and in Schoology that will count toward each student's progress this year. So please encourage your students to help push forward and complete those assignments and get them turned in on time. as grades are being assigned for the work turned in. So you can look at PowerSchool. We update grades every day. We upgrade weekly, update grades. So please ensure and help us get that work turned in so our teachers can make informed decisions on how we move forward with our classes. Just a little bit review of Netiquette for our online learning. Please, again, we encourage you to help provide a quiet workspace for students. That we are encouraging them not to be in their bed. We are encouraging them to dress appropriately. Again, I remind you, we're not requiring uniforms, but we do ask that you have them dress appropriate and be ready to learn as they enter into these rooms. Now, we are asking that when at all possible, have the students turn on the cameras, just so we would like to see them. We like to interact with them. We understand that some cameras are not working, but if the cameras are not working, we still require those students to participate. We have a number of students that are logging in and then just sitting idle and not communicating, not working, not responding to questions that are asked. So we're asking you to help eliminate distractions outside during those dedicated learning times. We've been very intentional about the schedule to help students get acclimated as we return back to the classroom, which is where we're going to turn to the final piece of the discussion before we open up for questions and answers. Starting Monday, September 14th, please know that the schedule that we have put out to this point was purposeful and intentional to help acclimate and get all of our students back into the mode of schooling, getting our staff back in the mode, helping us give plenty of time to ensure that our systems are up, giving our students plenty of time to get back into the swing of things. We have been under this schedule since the beginning of school, so it's a little over 3 weeks. Right at almost 4 weeks, we have got to begin transitioning into preparing for real schooling, whatever that's going to look like after the next phase. Now, in order to do that, I sent out the schedule earlier this week. I will send it out again, either close of day today or tomorrow, that our schedule will move. Now, we are still focusing on trying to limit screen time for students. We are still focusing on trying to provide ample opportunity for students to get extra tutoring, for our teachers to be able to have hands-on and individual discussions to be available for questions. So we are still moving forward with that piece. But I want you to please understand that as we move closer and closer to reopening schools, our new school calendar this year, our daily, once we open fully, or once we have students back in the building, our classes will actually begin at 7:30 and will go through 2:45. So up until this point, we've started classes at 9 o'clock to help get people back into the mode. When we come back into the building, classes will begin at 7:30. So as we are trying to ease our way back in, we are moving our class start time beginning on Monday the 14th up to 8 o'clock. And if we can put the new schedule up, we're going to post that so you see a visual of what I'm talking about. Can we zoom in, sir, please? Any way possible? So if you'll notice, we're still going to try to keep the synchronous times and asynchronous times available. Let me just remind you, synchronous time is when the students are responsible for logging in and receiving direct instruction from their teachers. So if currently our schedule is Monday and Wednesday, we meet first period, second period, and seventh period for 6 through 8. For 9-12, we meet 1, 2, 3 on Monday and Wednesday. So we're moving those times up. So now our synchronous time with full instruction for first, second, and seventh period for grades 6 through 8, we will begin at 8 o'clock. Classes from 8 to 9 synchronous with their teacher. They're going to get a 15-minute break. Then they're going to log right into second period and go from 9:15 to 10:15. So you're still getting the same hour of synchronous lesson time with the teacher. We're just moving it up an hour because we've got to begin moving up to get ready to open and hopefully as soon as possible. You'll notice that lunch has been cut down to 30 minutes. That's, again, purposeful because when they come into the building, they're going to have less than 30 minutes for lunch. Now, not to scare anybody away, if you'll look after lunch beginning at 12, each class only gets 10 minutes, 12 to 12:10, 1 to 1:10, every hour on the hour. So for these days, when they only have the 10 minutes, that is a touch point time where students will be given, they will be responsible for logging in with their teacher, checking in with their teacher for attendance purposes, as well as to receive the assignment for that day. So the teachers, it could be a short assignment, it could be a check-in point, it could be a discussion, it could be an assignment of homework, but they have a 10-minute touch point that they will need to sign in, log in, touch point with their teacher, and then they'll receive the assignment for the day, and then they can get off the computer. Again, we're still trying to be very conscious with screen time. That same schedule will be duplicated or replicated on the very next day. For Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're going to meet with 4th, 5th, and 6th for the synchronous time. And then in the afternoon after lunch, it will be touch points 1, 2, 7, and then again, success time at the end of the day. Again, after lunch, they're asynchronous times, but there is a requirement for them to log in. We want them to begin seeing their teachers every day, and this will just encourage relationship building. It will encourage Q&A. It will also give teachers opportunity to fill in any gaps quickly of anything that was misunderstood. So, and then what will Friday look like? If you move to Friday, again, we're going to go to just that third period on Friday at the lower building for grade 6-8. For grade 6-8, it will be third period for a 2-hour spot, and then they have checkpoints the rest of the day for asynchronous work. At the for grades 9-12 at the high school level, Friday will be 7th period for 2 hours, and then asynchronous the rest of the day. And I sent out these schedules for both people. Now, can you scroll down for me, sir? I'm going to go to the touch points. These are just highlight notes of just to reiterate what we're talking about. Synchronous time is defined as class with the teacher. The daily start time for classes is being moved from 9 a.m. to 8 a.m. This still allows for opportunities for staff to offer additional scheduled tutoring because our staff will be required to be on and ready to roll at 7:30. So there's a good 30 minutes every day if a student has a question. There are 15 minutes between 1st and 2nd and 4th and 5th. This allows for screen time breaks, restroom breaks, grab a snack. So it also allows it to get off the screen. Each day, students will be given 30 minutes for lunch, again, as we're trying to get them acclimated back to a normal routine of schooling. Again, on Fridays, there are synchronous work. For 9-12, that will be synchronous for 7th period. On Fridays, it will have, and that's a typo, that should say synchronous time for success time. So those students will be able to touch point with their success time teacher and for coaching, social emotional support, that type of thing. Our EC staff will still utilize these open times for scheduling one-on-one, small group, and help. All synchronous times will end at 11:30 daily. That will ensure that there's more asynchronous time for students to work on their independent work, for them to also to collaborate with their classmates if they're doing group projects, those type of things. During the async, it is an absolute mandatory that students are logging into each class as a checkpoint. That's to ensure that attendance is taken. That is also ensured a good opportunity for students and teachers to continue to build these relationships. Teachers will post scheduled office hours and tutoring sessions on Schoology, and we will also make every attempt to make sure that synchronous time is purposeful and meaningful. One big concern about going to something like this is homework. And I assure you that we are making every effort on this campus to ensure that homework and all of our daily work is more quality over quantity and purposeful. So if you have any questions about that, I encourage you to reach out to your teachers and discuss that with them. So the final point, I do want to end on an absolute wonderful note. Before we open up for Q&A, I want to unveil we are rebranding ourselves here at Cabarrus Charter Academy. We are updating our mascot. We have received a new design for the mascot, and I really love it. We've gotten some feedback in the community at this point too. So we'd like to show you the new Husky at this point. We have updated this one. It comes in a variety of images. There is one that we are primarily looking at potentially athletic, but it's got an actual shield on the back of it. Do we have that one that we can show? And this is going to be the new Husky for the upper campus. I do know that the lower has come up with a new one themselves, but I will allow them to show theirs. But this is our new updated Husky moving into the 2020 school year. We are excited. We are already looking at spirit wear and magnets and those type of things to get this logo out. But we're very excited, and we think it looks phenomenal. And I think it will continue to move us in the right direction. So at that time, thank you for enduring 20 minutes of me. At this time, I'll open it up for questions. And here we go. So for the 10-minute check-in, they will log in with each teacher live. At this point, Ms. McDonald, the teachers are going to be encouraged to do live. Sometimes there may be a Google form that is sent out on Schoology for them to complete a task. It may be a login question, but there will be a specific touch point. I don't want to lock us into an actual live session every day when there isn't needed, but I'm encouraging it. So yes, ma'am, there will be a login for them. Great question. Good morning. Then should we have just started at 7:30 from the beginning? It's a lot of changes to start the routine. Oh, that's a great, Ms. Word, thank you so much for that question. That has came up. We have talked to several people and we consider doing that, but at the same time, we were also looking at such a large transition. We're going from 9 all the way to 8. We do know that we have families that are having to share computers. We do know that we have families that are still having to juggle the work issue with timing, and you know timing is everything. So we could have gone to 7:30, but we just thought at this point, just continuing to slow roll the time, it would just work out a little bit better. So that's why we chose 8 o'clock. And I also wanted to ensure that we had still some time for our teachers to have the opportunity to touch base with students if they had questions prior to class. When we get into full mode of schooling, that touch point will be from 7 to 7:30. But again, slow rolling as we go. Great question. Thank you. And thank you for joining me this morning. That is, Ms. Morgan, that is still an absolute option. At this point, we don't know what the board is going to vote on, but my understanding that is if our students still and the families want to stay fully mobile, that will be an option this year. Okay, so great question. The NCHHA, the North Carolina Coaches High School Association, has moved all sports back. I do know the fall sports will begin. Their first official practice is November 4th. November 4th. So the first official practice, according to the state, has been pushed. So volleyball and cross country, they all begin on November 4th. And then we released and sent out a schedule a few weeks ago about where the other sports fall. You can find those dates also on the North Carolina Coaches Association website. And we'll send that out again. But sports will resume, as of now, officially November 4th. Now, depending on what depending on what happens within the state, depending on what happens with COVID, of course, they could always change. But right now, the date that we have is November 4th. Another wonderful question. Thank you. Oh, we enjoyed seeing the students too. I enjoyed getting to know some of them. I interacted with them myself when they came in. I met several of our families when we did our temperature checks and asked questions in the carpool line. So we really enjoyed seeing them as well. I know we had smiling faces here even during testing. So we were very, very excited to see our students. We were happy that they got to come in and at least see them, for even though it was a short time. But thank you. That makes me feel good. I wish we could see him more. Mr. Wallace, I've already sent it out, but I will send it out again, and I will also ask my teachers to send it out through their Schoology account. So we will get it. We will mass distribute it again. I'll send it, and I'll have all the teachers forward it as well. So I'll send it again today. Next question. Okay, we're just getting several of the same questions, so I'm not going to go through them. We're looking for some new ones. Please make sure that you reach out to your teachers. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, but if it's a question that has to do with individual instructions, that's going to be forwarded right back to the teachers because they are fully control of their classroom and they're better equipped to answer those questions about individual classes. I do know, guys, that this isn't ideal for everyone with the new schedule change. But we feel that at this time we need to make this change as we are preparing for whatever is to come in the next few weeks. So we need to start getting students in, working a little bit closer with our teachers as we're moving forward to hopefully opening our doors potentially by the end of this quarter. We don't know how the state's going to move. We are seeing more schools opening. So we feel that at this time this is the best move. I know it's not ideal for everyone, but the whole situation is not ideal. So I wish we could change it. So our scheduled teacher workday is still going to take place as scheduled. Yes, ma'am, they are. We're going to continue to those teacher work days. That way students don't have work those days, as well as any holidays. Absolutely. I'm one of those guys. It's a holiday. Take a break. My teachers are going to be instructed to not give any work over any holiday that we have. But yes, scheduled teacher work days will take place and students will not have work those days. I do want to remind everybody that we did have to build in 5 e-learning days, even though we've been on e-learning. Those were 5 instructional days that were added to our calendar, that there will still be work those days. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm working on doing more. I really am. Again, if you are not receiving emails, I am regularly sending emails weekly now. My system is finally up and running. If you are not receiving those, please reach out to the school and let us know, because that means that our contact information for you is not up to date in PowerSchool. PowerSchool is our one-stop shop for that data. So if you are not receiving my emails, then that means we've got some disconnect with your email in the system. So please make sure you reach out to the school and let us know so we can update that at this time. Seniors, yes, seniors. I am actually scheduling a senior information session. I'm going to Zoom with all my seniors next week. I believe, let me check my calendar. I think it is, I'm going to do a Teams meeting with all of my senior students this next week on the 15th at 2:30. We are trying to make plans for the rest of the year. I've already started meeting with student council. We are looking at, again, unfortunately, we are stuck with the COVID restrictions. But as soon as we can, we're going to start working with those. I do know our counselor has reached out to ensure that we have got them on track. We are currently working right now to schedule some information sessions and some college visits. We're trying to get colleges to come in and talk to our students. For our families, we are scheduling college information nights right now in October and November, because we're anticipating being able to at least open our gym successfully with social distancing to offer information nights. And there will be a virtual option for those as well, for those families who can't come on campus. But we are looking to try to open those doors and get those available. So, and at the same time, we are currently now looking at scheduling tours for prospective families, as well as an information night for new families who are considering joining our Husky family. So if you know of anybody that would benefit from our school, or that are even interested in looking at a different choice, because we are very fortunate in North Carolina to have choice schools, we would love to be an option for them. So we are looking at scheduling those very soon. We did go to 2.5, which allows for a larger number of people inside the building to join. And we believe that we can practice social distancing and have a couple information nights on that. But we are reaching out to seniors, making sure that they are on track to graduate on time, making sure that we are fulfilling those senior needs, as well as other students. We are going to begin meeting with them as well. We've already reached out. We've started some clubs. Our plan is to have a virtual club fair tomorrow to offer some information to students. I believe that's at 11:30 tomorrow on a Teams meeting. We're going to throw that out there for students if they're interested in seeing what type of clubs. I also encourage students to jump on there too and shoot me an email of any clubs that they are actually interested in for this year, because we would like to start with those opportunities. I do know we have a couple of clubs that have already that have already started meeting, and we are very excited about getting those things up and running. So we've got great things planned. We just need to let us open that gate and let us start moving on those. So great question. When we go back to school with some online, will laptops be required for those in school? We would prefer them to bring them here. If they have their own device, we ask them to bring it. If they do not have their own device, again, we are working to have some available for students to actually work on while they are here. We understand that many of our students are working at home with desktops, which is perfectly fine and great. When they come in, it will absolutely not be a necessity. However, it makes it easier with all of our tools now going to Schoology, and our students have complete access to all Microsoft tools. So they're not going to be required, but highly encouraged. And again, if they don't have one available, we will do our best to provide one while they're here. Great question, Ms. McDonald. Thank you. Next few weeks, consider what changes you will also put parents through. Some of our jobs are not flexible with this remote learning, so last minute change. Ms. Word, I hear you. I'm right there with you. I have 2 students in school myself, as well as my wife. She is a essential worker who works in the medical field. I understand, and we're willing to work the best that we can with our families. We understand. So that's why we are trying to roll it out as fast as we can in a timely manner. We do know that this starting on Monday might throw a kink in some things, which that's fine. Again, we'll work with students. If we have issues with connectivity, if we have issues with sharing computer devices, there will be options. Again, like we've said, if a student could not make a class, that doesn't mean they're absent as long as they are turning in the work for that day. So we understand, we're going to work with everyone. We just ask that you communicate. We have students that have just not shown up, or that are just not doing any work. So families, please make sure you are checking with your students. I do know we have a lot of families who have to leave their students at home during this time. They go to work and just are, depending on their students to make right choices. And unfortunately, some of the younger ones are not making the right choices. And the older ones, high school students, who are telling their parents one thing and are not actually doing the work. So please make sure you are following up with your student. You have full accessibility to their Schoology page. You have full accessibility to the teachers. You as parents, you yourself can log into your student's Schoology page and see what their work is. So please utilize those tools and, follow up after them to help us help them. A common issue last year was lots of teachers leaving school. Same thing this year. My daughter doesn't have a math 2. That is a great question. we are working diligently. I can't speak of why they have left in the past. I can't speak because A, I wasn't here, and B, I don't want to speculate in any way. It is an issue. I do know currently with teachers moving about right now during this pandemic, it's an issue for many schools. Teachers are, they're just as worried about as parents are about coming into the building, about being exposed. Some are just not enjoying the online. We're working very hard to find that 10th grade teacher. We have had 2 in place already that have started and then just for whatever reason decided not to come back. So we're working very hard. One way that I plan on curbing that right now is, we're working very hard on morale and culture here at the school. And right now our teachers and our students seem to be very happy at this point. I am very happy with the success that we've had thus far. We have gone to great lengths. The teachers that we have brought in this year that have replaced the ones that have chosen to leave last year are dynamite. They're fantastic teachers who really care about students and are really showing it through their efforts during this time. So we are working on that. We know it's an issue, and apparently it's been an issue for a long time. And my job is to solve that. So with my assistant principal, my CRT, and our intervention specialists and the staff that we have in place, we're working very hard to negate that. So it is definitely a concern, and I promise you that it is not being overlooked. All right. Well, that is about all the time that we have left today. If you have any other questions, I know the minute that we sign off, there are going to be another big slew of questions. Please feel free to email me, and any questions that I get after this meeting, I will send them out in a recap with my weekly update that I will send to you. We are also starting, we have already sent out last week our new Husky Howl. That is going to be our newsletter that we're going to do weekly. Please make sure that you take a gander at that. It will have a lot of information and up-to-date information for you about things to come. So please just make sure that you're receiving our communication. Again, thank you so much for your time. Do know that this is a challenging time for all, and we want to work with everyone. So again, together we can solve it. Have a wonderful day.
Watch your child soar to new heights at Cabarrus Charter Academy. Cabarrus Charter Academy is a tuition-free public charter school now accepting applications for kindergarten through 12th grade. Our curriculum encompasses a student-focused learning environment, offering whole child development while fostering strategic partnerships between families, teachers, and the community. Join us for an information session or submit an application by visiting cabarruscharter.org today.